Hello, this is Kavita with Aligned and Soulful Success. And today I want to talk to you about overcoming bright, shiny object syndrome and how to know when it's actually time to change whatever it is that you're doing, whether it's a marketing strategy, your niche, your coach, or whatever that is that you are switching between. So when is it time to actually do that versus what is actually bright, shiny object syndrome? So let's start by defining bright, shiny object syndrome. So you may or may not be familiar with this term. And the term is referring to when you think about a bright, shiny object, think about it, right? So when there's something shiny and pretty, maybe that catches your attention, and there's this desire to want that and to think that you need that. And so when we have our business, this is when we change things repeatedly and do so because we think that that might be better. Okay. So there's nothing wrong with improving your business, doing things better. There's the challenge is when it's done too often and done for the wrong reasons. And some of the areas that I've seen this very common in entrepreneurs and have experienced myself is with marketing strategies, switching between marketing strategies really quickly, maybe even adding another one until you have like 20 marketing strategies that you're using. And especially if you don't have a team to support you, that's a lot, right? And so you're doing all of these things. And the other area that I've seen this happen is support. So maybe you've decided that in your business that you would want to work with a coach. And so I know that's something that I've decided in my business that I will always work with a coach to support me. And so we can often work with a coach that calls things out, that can see things we can't see. And sometimes it's time to say, okay, well, the relationship is done for now. We've complete, right? And so it's time to move on to work with someone else. Oftentimes that happens too quickly because there's a sense of, okay, I'm good, right? Everything is good. And there's this desire and thought that maybe I can get something from another coach that I can't get from this person. And that may or may not be true. And the other part that I see this happening is with the niche, right? And so switching your niche because you think that if I have this niche, then maybe more people will work with me, or maybe that niche is more desirable, or it's more exciting, whatever, right? So that switching the niche, it's shiny, it seems better, okay? And I know that I've done that. And then the other part is with that I see this happening is with training. Okay, so taking more training because you think that that program is going to now be the thing that takes your business to the next level. So I love training. I continue to take training. There's nothing wrong with training programs. The issue comes when you think that that is the thing that's going to change your situation for any of the things that I mentioned. Okay. So when you think about this, when you just listen to what I said, I want you to take a moment and look at your own life, business, career, and see where you have done this. Is there a specific area that maybe you're not reaching the goals that you desire and you keep switching something to hope to get to that goal? And this usually happens in areas that we are not reaching our goals, right? So that's why I'm asking you to look there. And so when you look at that and you're not getting the results that you desire, we often go and say, like, I need to change my coach. I need to change my strategy. I need to change my niche. I need to change who I work with to support me, right? And then again, may be the case. More importantly, it's important to look at the truth of the situation and do the internal work and be honest with yourself. Okay. And so let me give you an example. So let's say you have been trying marketing on a social media channel for a little while, and you meet some other entrepreneur, and that entrepreneur says, "Oh, I've been getting all my clients from this other social media platform, and they've been doing it a different way." Okay. And so then you start to think, well, I'm not really getting the results I desire from this strategy. Maybe I should try that one. Okay. And so you try that one. And then you do that for a while, and you may or may not stop your original strategy. And then you're not getting the results from that. And so then you hear from someone else, or you see a masterclass, or you see a webinar, or you see another training, and you try a different strategy. So if this is a pattern, what is the commonality in all these patterns? It's you, right? It's me. I am the problem, right? So in this point, it's time to really be clear. First, going back to that scenario where you heard about another marketing strategy, be honest with yourself about the one you're using. Are you all in? Are you actually taking all the action steps that is necessary to make that strategy work for you on that platform? Have you tried tweaking your messaging? Have you tried changing up different ways of using your strategy? Are you truly consistent? Okay, so that's the external things to look at. Be true and honest with yourself about that. Then the other part of it is your internal compass, right? If you're not getting the results, what do you really believe? Do you believe that you will get the results? Do you believe that this will work for you? And taking that even further, do you believe in yourself? Are you feeling a little bit like an imposter? Is there some fear about what it would be like to actually have clients or more clients than you have? Is there a fear that, that is protecting you from what it would mean? Is there a fear of failure? So, like, if I really put all my effort into the strategy, I do everything, and then my business fails, what would that mean about me? So this is what I'm talking about. These type of questions are where you can start to really see what's underneath what you're seeing, what the results that you're getting are, right? And so it goes beyond just chasing the next bright shiny object and switching strategies. It really goes into that deep work to decide, is this actually the strategy? Do I need to change this? Or is it something that is internal to me that is causing this result? So I'm going to recommend that you go and do the internal work first before you start to switch and change whatever niche, strategy, coach, marketing, etc. And once you do that work and it becomes clear that you've gone all in, then yes, it may be time to change. Okay. And then when you choose your next strategy, choosing it consciously from a place of abundance, openness, possibilities, trust in yourself, right? And using your intuitive guidance, and not from a place of scarcity, needing an attachment. Okay. And as entrepreneurs, we can feel all those emotions all in one day, right? And so when you're making those decisions, really being grounded and centered in yourself and making the decisions from there. And so I want to add another layer to this, and that has to do with being an empath, sensitive soul. So if you're an empathic, sensitive soul, you have most likely been given the message that you are not okay somehow because you don't fit in to the world. You don't function and feel necessarily in the way that you see around you. And so you might have the tendency to suffer from bright, shiny object syndrome more often because you are looking for the answers externally. You're looking that and seeing and thinking that in order for me to feel better, for me to be successful, to feel good, to feel worthy, I need this thing outside of me to change. And it doesn't work that way. In order for you that thing outside of you to change, you need to start to feel that confidence, that worthiness already, despite what's happening around you. And so cultivating that inner strength, that groundedness, that trust in yourself, that knowing that you are okay and there's nothing wrong with you. You are okay just the way you are. Okay. And that you have been designed this way on purpose. And coming from that and then making those decisions, you will just see the outside start to change. Now, I'm not saying you're just going to sit back in your house. You are taking action, you are taking steps, but really focusing on that inner compass, that inner strength. And if you haven't really looked at your conditioning and all that, the conditioning that you've had from childhood, and really when I say that, most of it's before you even can remember, right? So you may not even realize what you've been conditioned to think, believe, and especially how the world works. And so that's why it's important to work with a coach that can help you see those things because it's very difficult to see on your own. And so, working through those things, working through the conditioning, discerning what is actually helpful, what is actually who you want to be, and realizing that the world doesn't have to work the way that you thought that it did or you were conditioned to believe. Because remember, if you believe something, even if it's a subconscious belief, especially actually if it's a subconscious belief, your brain is going to look for evidence that that's true. So it is going to reinforce what you already believe. And so, when you talk to someone and they believe something, if they're not willing to be open minded to consider another point of view, they have already decided and have looked for evidence that that's true. And whether it's conscious or unconscious. They're already reinforcing what they believe. And so when you're making these changes and looking at your conditioning, there can be a period of discomfort, the cognitive dissonance that happens when, your beliefs are changing, but what outside you're not necessarily seeing the evidence yet. It's kind of like this um, difficult time, and in order to really shift the beliefs, working with a coach can help you do that, right? And so that's why it's not just about the insight. It's not just about just learning from a book. There's the value of working with someone that wants to see you succeed and can see the things that you can't see. I know whenever I've not worked with a coach, there's been periods of time where the coaching relationship is over for whatever reason, and I was looking for someone else to work with for the right person. Um, or I decide, okay, you know what, maybe I'll take a break. Things slow down for me. And then when I'm ready to continue that work, the inner work, then that's going to continue to move my business forward. So, when you're thinking about the bright, shiny object syndrome, remember that it can show up anywhere in your business or your life that things are not working for you. You're not reaching your goals. And instead of just looking for the thing that looks better and changing the strategy, hoping that everything around you will change and how you feel will change, you need to look inside and do the inner work. And then the things outside change. And then, especially if you're an empath and sensitive soul, even more so because you've been conditioned, whether consciously or unconsciously, subconsciously, to believe that you are different. And so, therefore, different equals maybe not enough somehow. Okay. So, doing that work is so important. And if you feel called to connect with me, I have contact information in the show notes. I would love to connect with you and see if working together is a good fit. Right now, this month, I do have a couple of spots available for one-on-one coaching, and my coaching is very individualized. I do not use a set formula because I believe each person is so different. So I want to honor you, your strengths, your business, or the business you want to create, and help you take that out into the world. So this is Kavita with Aligned and Soulful Success, wishing you all the best. Until next time, take good care. Bye.